Today, Junior?
Did I stutter?
Poker face, poker.
Ladies and gentlemen of the
Jury.
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Did I Stutter? It's comedian Drew Lynch. So, I have tour dates, but I usually read them. I'm just going to try and say it, just free ball it, you know? Or free lip it, if that's, if just no gender specification here. I'm coming up, guys. I'm on the up. I'm coming to a place, and it's going to be in Boston, Texas. Nope. I just did Austin, Texas, and I combined literally the East Coast with that. I'm coming to Boston, and then I'm coming to that weird state that's next to it. All right, it's the long one. I can't say it. And then I have shows at Netflix is a Joke here in Los Angeles, California, at the Belasco Theater, and then I will be in Phoenix, Arizona, in May because I have some sweat to donate to the ground. And then I'll be coming to Buffalo, New York, and then I'm heading over to Europe to do a European tour. France, Amsterdam, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, London, Dublin, Ireland. So, tickets at drewlynch.com. Go ahead and grab those. Grab them, but just respectfully and not too tight. Let's get into it. All right, can we just start right away with a That's My Gripe, please? Hit it.
That's my gripe.
What the
That's my gripe.
That's my gripe. I think there are two types of people in this world, and the most successful people, I believe, are the patient ones who are also determined. Now, I am still working on my patience, but I have my father's genes. And they don't fit me, and I'm just anxious to gain weight and fit in them, and I'm impatient about that. But genuinely, I have his genetics, and I can't stand people who just I don't even want to say the words. I cannot stand the dilly-dallying. All right, you guys never grew up with a dad who? Did you never grow up with a dad? Have you ever had a father figure in your life? Your dad tells you to hurry up. Let's go. You could have just woken up and it is not enough time to get ready, but it is too much time for your dad's agenda. Every time I see people in traffic who are just discovering life, and these people that walk the same way they drive, you know it too. You know that, like, they're the same type of people who are like, oh, what's this about? Maybe this is for me. I don't know. Have you never had just a practice that you were late for? Just something growing up where your dad was perpetually infuriated with you. Okay? It's get up. We got school. Hurry up. We got to get home. Hurry up. We have practice. Let's go. We got to get you to bed. That's my life, okay? That it feeds my anxiety, but I think it also feeds my soul, knowing that at least I know where I'm going. Figure it out, folks. Get a dad. Rent a dad. Just rent one for the weekend if you have to. Marry into a family with a dad. You need someone who looks over you and tells you that you are not going to make it. You're not going to make it. And you're just like, is there a bus I have to catch? And no, it's just it. You're not going to make it. Okay? Stop looking around and enjoying your life. Knock it off. Okay? That's not what this is. Quit it. We're here for the destination. Anyone who tells you different is a liar and a mom, probably. Your mom is about the journey and your dad is about the destination here. Okay? And that somewhere in between there, they conceived a child. Okay? So, and I think that, I mean, to be honest with you, that is probably the influence on their sexual performance as well. All right? Your dad goes in with one intention, and your mom is there for a different one. Maybe not yours specifically, but I'm just speaking about moms and dads in general. Okay? In fact, that's how they become moms and dads, is the intertwining of destination and journey comes together. All right? And I think that's just the difference, right? And I'm not saying that perseverance and determination belongs to a sex here. It does not. But the sperm has got it's going somewhere, all right? It's going somewhere, and I never stopped. I'm still the sperm trying to find my way. I'm swimming to my destination egg, okay? And the egg's just sitting there like, oh, what's going on? It's beautiful. We're just hanging out. Literally, the egg's just hanging, okay? And so we have two different styles here, okay? And a mom is going to tell you that you know, things are okay. Why not order a flight of bourbon? It's the weekend, and you're like, okay, Thursday isn't the weekend really, and she's like, well, it's close enough. And your dad's like, yeah, but if you do that, you know, you're gonna miss your meeting on Monday, probably. Okay? So your mom's like, enjoy it. Sip bourbon. And your dad is like, why don't you just shoot it? What's to experience here? Let's get wrecked. Hurry up. Let's go. Okay? The shot was invented by a man. I know that for a fact. No way that was a woman who invented the shot. You would think, as often as I feel like the women are the ones enjoying it. But I think that was a man. I think that was a guy who was sitting at a bar, and then he was like, he was there, and his buddy just said, hey man, let's get out of here. And then his buddies turned to leave, and he's like, well, what about my drink? And he's like, finish it. And then the dude tossed it back. All right? Tips down. Okay? And his buddy was like, that was pretty friggin' cool. And he's like, yeah, I just did that. I feel terrible. But I'm glad that we get to leave now and go to wherever we're going. Right? That's exactly how it was invented, probably. And I can't tolerate any type of person who is just impatient. So I think that that's probably why I have so much anxiety, is I just can't sit still. And I'm doing it right now, and it's killing me. I want to do a jogging podcast. This is a nightmare for me right now, folks. Because I'm just sitting here, and I know something else is happening, and I feel like I'm late for it. Okay? Let's get a move on. Right now. Right freaking now. But the most successful people, they are able to harness their impatience and use it against other people. That's how they're able to do it. I can only imagine that they're just strategizing on ways. They're people that are the only people. Here's how people became motivated. Okay, is someone who got really impatient was met with equal amounts of positivity. That's all that motivation is. It's just it's me telling you that you're a slow shit politely. That's what motivation is. Okay? So like motivation is just edited impatience. So when I tell you, you can do it, man, You can do it. What I'm really saying is, hurry the fuck up right now. Or friendship over. Right? That's it. That's all it is. That's all that impatience is. You're probably impatient with me talking about this for so long. I'm trying to drag this out so you can understand what it's like for someone who is unable to move on. Okay? Decisions are to be made. Growing up, I was never able to slow down in an aisle in a grocery store. Okay? I wasn't able to pick out. There's no time for choices. There is only time for decisions. That's it. The difference between a decision and a choice is a dad that's in a bad mood. All right? A choice feels like, oh, I don't know, maybe, I'll choose this. A decision is, I don't care about the other options. Give me the one that's nearest to me. And that's how I picked out my cereal. Okay? It was a spree. I was doing shopping sprees when I was 8. I was raiding the place like we weren't going to pay for it. Do you understand me right now when I'm telling you that I don't know what ended up in the cart? Okay? But that's what we ate. Yeah. We didn't grow up with pasta sauce because those ragu bottles are glass. And if you toss that into a cart, odds are it breaks. And that is another reason to piss Dad off. So, we grew up with dry pasta. Okay? We salivated in our mouths, and that was our dressing. All right? I'm talking about dry salads. Have you ever had a dry crouton? Have you had a dry crouton? It'll age you, man. It ages you. It'll change. It'll change the way you look at your siblings even, You look at them and you're like, I have to raise them now because I'm having a salad without dressing because I didn't know which aisle it was in. You had to time it in the grocery stores because there's your dad, hurry up. There's people, hurry up. That was the biggest thing that's the biggest thing for me because I think it's the biggest thing for my dad. He didn't want no one, you don't want to be caught looking like an idiot. And so the way you do that is you're faster. You're just swift. Okay? And I remember the first time I went to a grocery store with my dad and he was like, he had me hold on to one of his belt buckles and thank God I had Heelys. Cause he's like, it's going to be a hell of a ride. In and out of 5 minutes. In and out in 5 minutes, he would say. He would show up at the grocery store at 8:55 p.m. And he's like, I want to be out of here before the announcement. Okay? And I remember the first time I went to a grocery store with my dad. And he was like, you need to get this and get this. Get your favorite thing. Grab your Chewies. All right? And, get something for the team. Hurry up. And I'm like 8 years old or whatever. And I remember that and he was like, and we need milk too. And I remember the milk decision. Remember the first time you chose the milk and you brought it back home and your mom was like, we don't do 1%. Who did what happened? What's going on? Apparently your mom was the most fraught with confusion at the idea that she's like, we got the red lid. That's what we've had for your entire childhood. And now you bring home a green top? We're a green top? What are we? What are we? What are we, the independent political party? This is insane. Who is this for? This is like nuns and liberals drink this. What are you doing? Right? That's what your mom did? She'd be like, I guess. I mean, we'll see what happens. I made a nice dinner, but I guess we're drinking 1% milk now. And My mistake when I went to the grocery store with my dad was you eventually end up getting good at this, but if you start with the milk and then you do your whole quick run through the aisles, your Albertsons raid, okay? You know, your retreat from Kroger, all right? You don't ever start in the frozen section, in the cold section, because you want to cool down by the time you sweat, all right? So if I eventually flipped it, all right? You start over in the produce, and then you end up in the freezer section. Okay? That was a huge mistake for me. Costco, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare for my family, because as soon as you show up, your dad wants to leave, but your mom wants to see what's going on. Costco always feels like they might sell the store that day. That's what it feels like. It feels like an announcement could be made at any moment where they say, we're selling the store in bulk now. Multiple Costcos just went on sale. And so your mom wants to go around, and she's like, "Oh, they've got like mustard infused pretzel sticks, and got samples of shampoo." And your dad's like, "I got a packet of tire irons. It's what I came for. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here." Your dad always comes back to the family when you return to the cart as a family. Your dad always comes back like he pulled the fire alarm and we got to get out of here. He's always like, "Let's get out of here." And I'm like, "What did you do? What did you do? Did you steal a police car? Like, what have you done, father? Father?" "Let's go. I'll tell you in the car." Right? "Hurry up. Buckle your seatbelt. Get in the car. Buckle your seatbelt. Get in. Hurry up. Put your seatbelt on. Let's go. Drive fast. Get there fast. Eat fast." I eat so fast. I eat so fast. No idea. No idea where that came from. You ever look at a kid who's just eating? Like I watched a kid bite into a pizza roll. He didn't toss it in his mouth and swallow it whole like I did. He bit it, and the cheese did the thing where it came away from his fingers and his face. And you're like, that, and he's like looking over, I don't know, watching cartoons. There's a kid that just, he doesn't understand what the struggle, all right? He doesn't understand. Okay? Time can be lost. Time is always lost. And so that's my gripe. I'm sick. When you meet someone, that's why I married my wife, because I'm fascinated by her. She can spend all of the time in a store that's not, it's barely a store. It's like a person who is sitting in a shack and they sell candles, and my wife wants to spend the whole day there. She wants to spend the most time, and I'm mostly studying her, really, because I can't understand it. It's like when you're at the zoo and you're like, the gorillas, they are us, but they're different. You know? It's like that. You ever just watch a person just kind of, you just looking at them and you're like, what drives you? Is it really vanilla cinnamon? Is that really what your day was about today? It was about just just taking in all the smells that you're motivated. I mean, even to stop and smell something is just, I don't know, but it's fascinating because I think I don't have any memories. I don't have any memories because they were so fast. They were so just quick. Like, I think I have memories, but I think if I go back and remember them, they're so quick. I can't draw on a lot of memories because they're just fast. It's just, and that happened, you know? Like the smell of a magazine. Where does that take me? I was in line at the grocery store, and I remember that because my dad was like, "We need to find a quicker line." Just go look at all the other lines. Remember when your dad would send you to go look at all the other lines? He's like, see if we're in the shortest one right now. Go look. I see the light is on 6. Go check it out. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Crazy. I think the person you become is not dictated by the choices we make. No. It is who taught you how to drive. Those are the people we become. If your dad taught you how to drive, well, buckle up, the rest of the world that's in the wrong. Yeah. It is your mission to correct everybody else on the road. And you'll tell them. You'll tell them too. You know? My dad does that thing where when he passes by somebody, he looks at him. Dude, he nailed that look. That look. He's like, shakes his head. I always remember thinking, you showed them, Dad. You showed them. I think they saw your silhouette. The disappointment from the back of your head. They saw that. I felt it. Oof. They're going to be different. They'll think twice about coming on this road. They'll think twice. Yeah. Take the back roads, all right? This is an intersection here, all right? Why don't you go somewhere? Why don't you go to a one light district? Okay? This is here. This is the big leagues, all right? This is a multi-lane operation here. Now, again, this is broad strokes for personality types. I'm not saying that your mom can't be this way either, but my sister, she drives differently, and that's because my mom taught her. My sister she is a little bit more like my mom when it comes to driving. My brother, me, my dad, no. We're out. We don't even worry about checking our brakes. We don't use them. Okay? My sister she drives like a law-abiding citizen. Okay? She considers the possibilities. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm reckless. It doesn't mean my brother and my dad are reckless. Unless you see it from outside. Or if you are pretty much in the car, you'll be like, this is pretty reckless. It's reckless, but it's also safe. You know what I mean? And you would think it's not unsafe, but it is reckless. And those words I can understand could be antonyms, but they're not, because it's less a wreck. It's less a wreck. Okay? So the wreck is not happening because it is wreck-less. But you could see it and go, that's on its way to a wreck. My sister, she checks her, she looks around, She's about music. What, music? What are you crazy? No. This is not a time for music and entertainment, okay? And the news. You need to focus on where you're getting to and seeing the people that you're going to see so you can leave. That's what it's about. I think we have beat this horse to death, okay? It is a deaf horse at this point. Let's go to another segment here, folks. I spent way too long on this, and the irony is just not sitting well with me right now. Let's go to a who would win in a fight. Who would win in a fight? Who would win in a fight between these two people right here, blindly, cage match style? Okay, who would win in a fight right now? Trix the rabbit versus Captain Crunch. Okay, just before, I think I know what your answer is, but I'm just going to go ahead and exhaust the options here, all right? It's the battle of cereals right now. Who is the real serial killer? I don't know if Trix the rabbit has a bad bone in his body, right? I just don't think he's got that killer instinct that Captain Crunch has. All right, Captain Crunch is on a boat, right? It's a ship. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said boat. That's a disgrace. But he's a captain too. Okay, you don't become a captain by just winging it. You gotta cut some heads, all right? You gotta cut some heads. You gotta cut some heads and the roof of kids' mouths if you want to get promoted to captain. I guess it's not captain, it's Cap'n, all right? Cap'n Crunch. Cap'n Crunch? Doesn't that change things? I think it does. Are you telling me that Mr. Crunch is probably carrying concealed weapon? I don't know. Seems to be. He's a captain. So I never saw it. I never saw a man with a mustache like that who was capable of busting caps. But I guarantee it. You saw how nimble Trix the rabbit was, all right? And I also think, like, the rabbit never really got it. Like, he was kind of the victim, you know? Like, the kids were always like, silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. He never really got the bowl of cereal. And so for that reason, he doesn't, I don't know that rabbit has the energy because he never really had breakfast. So you're going into this fight knowing that you have depleted energy, even though you're a rabbit and you're as nimble as you are. And I think the way the match starts is probably the rabbit's just there in the rink, and it's like, looks like Captain's going to be a no-show, going to be a victory for Trix. Oh no! The ship busts through the arena, right? And Captain is right there with cannons, probably. Cannons of loaded sugar bots flying at you, Trix. You silly, silly Trix. Now, are they, I think both are at a disadvantage here because Trix the rabbit never got to have his cereal. But Cap'n Crunch, that'll hurt you. That'll hurt your mouth. You go to school and you remember you had like a little bit of it stuck on your molars and you could still, like the faint taste of iron because you cut yourself somewhere in your mouth, right? But you had that sweet 1% milk to wash it down. My God. I almost have a moment of nostalgia, but it's brief. Same size, too. Captain Crunch, I think, is a pretty short guy. Right? I'm going to look up a photo here, okay? And I think he's a pretty short guy. Captain Crunch. There he is, Cap'n Crunch. Look at him. Look at that. Cap'n Crunch. He's a dangerous man. Look at his little eyes. He's selling it, man. Selling it. I don't trust him one bit, man. Not at all. Okay, and you got Trix the Rabbit. Look at him, goofy. He's also known as the Silly Rabbit. I think if you're coming into a fight and your intention is to be silly, I mean, you're not going to pull a fast one on the Cap'n, okay? So, I don't know, man. I'm taking the Cap'n. I think it would be a nice time to tell you guys that my buddy Justin Foster has a special coming out this week on YouTube. It's called Cheap Date. If you've seen me on tour, odds are you've probably seen my opener, Justin Foster. He's absolutely hilarious. Please check out his special on YouTube. It's coming out. It's called Cheap Date. I've worked with this guy for years. He's been literally one of my best friends, and it was directed by my buddy Isaac Abrams. He directed my last two specials. Feel free to check that out. It comes out April 24th, so 04/24/24. And it's free on YouTube. Cheap Date. Check it out. Now, my buddy Justin, he and I traveled together recently, and he called me and was like, dude, I think I left my wallet in the rental car. And I was like, oh, crap, dude. All right, well, call the rental place and see if they found anything. And he called them, and they apparently told him that I need to call them because it was for my reservation. So I called, and now I'm calling on behalf of someone else, which feels weird, right? That just feels nefarious, okay? It feels like, especially if it's a wallet that was lost, and I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm looking for a wallet in the back. But it's not mine. But if I'm just looking really just for, just the cash inside and the credit card numbers, and the wallet too, if you have time, right? It feels weird to call on behalf of someone for their money clip, okay? And so I have to fill out all this, like, I have to fill out, like, the dude, I'm on the phone with the guy, and he's like, okay, when was your reservation? Thanks for calling, how's it matter? When was your reservation? I was like, what does it matter when it was? Just look up my name. Why do I need to know the information? What is it with these places where I need to know it? You have the system. Do you not have the system, or do I have it? Look it up. How hard is this? Just go to your computer that I know. Then what's the computer for? Why do you have one? What's in there? Is it not a database? Is it just what's on the other side of that? Is it just photos of cars? What do you have then? I know you have. I don't remember when it was recent. It was like yesterday or the day before. Okay? And he's like, all right, well, what's your last name? And I was like, my last name's Lynch. And then I hear because apparently I have a lot of silent letters in my last name. Boy, was that not silent, though. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, you rented with us 2 days ago. Okay, so, all right, so you do have it then. So then you definitely could have just looked it up then, the whole time. You're just going to, what are you trying to catch me in a lie? When was the reservation? What was the car? Do you remember? What was your return time? Do you remember your gas mileage? No, I do not. I don't remember any of these things because I'm not Rain Man. So just please, why don't you just go cut to the chase and just use my last name to look it up, please. What's with all the questions beforehand? Get to it. Moving along. Dad snap. Okay? And he goes, okay, what are you calling about? Which is always so funny, because when you call, you say, I'm calling about a lost wallet that I left in a car, And then they say, okay, when did you rent the car? And they ask you a bunch of questions. And then when they finally get into your account, which is something that they should have done at the beginning, then they say, okay, how can I help you? And you're like, yeah, it still hasn't changed. The wallet is still missing, from which I called you and asked about 2 minutes ago. It is the same. So I guess I can say it again for you, though, if you want. I'm calling about a wallet that went missing. Okay? So I guess it is still a wallet, but it is not in my possession. It is in your vehicle. Okay? And the guy's like, okay, can you describe the wallet? And I was like, oh my hell, dude. Okay. I didn't ask my friend, but I know my friend's name. I know his name. His name's Justin Foster. And odds are, if you open the wallet, there will be a picture ID with that exact name. There's probably several credit cards in there as well. That's how wallets work. In fact, that's all that's in there is just his name many, many times. So just look for a wallet. Look for something that is a wallet and open it and then see if that name is there that I'm telling you right now. And then that's probably it. The odds are that's probably it. Okay? And he's like, well, if you aren't able to describe it, then I can't put it in the database here. Which always feels good. When you're saying something that's a lost cause, you're just saying it and it's gone. Like literally, why are we doing this? But sure. Yes. Let me say this to you for you to put it in a database, which apparently you guys don't even use. So I don't know why some other employee feels like they're going to be able to access it in the future if that's not what they use, right? Since you guys are just going word of mouth. So now I have to like hang up with this guy. There's no checkpoint. There's no checkpoint that you get on a customer service call. You don't get to like, can I get you again so I don't have to do this? It's not that. It's not. I was like, can I put you on hold and then I call him and he's like, no, just give us a call back when you have that information. So then I hang up, I call Justin and I say, hey, what is the color of the wallet? They need to know like if I can describe this wallet. And he's like, it's a brown wallet. And I was like, okay, I'll see you in 35 minutes. So then I called the car rental place back again, and different person. And they're like, hi, how can I help you today? And I was like, I was just on the phone with another guy, and my friend's wallet is missing. And I'm now realizing that you don't care about any of this information. So why don't I just tell you when I rented my car last? And she's like, yeah, that'd be great. And I was like, it was like 2 days ago. And she's like, okay, what's your last name? I was like, it's Lynch, and it is not my wallet that went missing. It is, it's a friend of mine's. And she's like, okay, hang on. Then I hear like voices in the background, It's like, is that Connor? Put Connor on. He knows me. I already put Connor on. Is that Connor? Connor! Hey, it's me. It's me. It's Drew calling for Justin. Connor? And she's like, oh, no, sorry. No Connor works here. I'm in Georgia. And you're like, okay, great. Perfect. Great. It's good to know that I'm calling Avis in Georgia for a car that I returned in Los Angeles. This money could be anywhere. This money could be converted to, it could be pesos by now. He had cash and it's pesos now. It's gone. It's in Cuba now. Yep. It's gone. Literally, this is what I'm saying out loud. She goes, my name's Lydia, but I'll be able to help you. I was like, we'll see about that, Lydia. And then she goes, so what are you calling for today? And I was like, I am calling because my friend left a wallet in a car that I was driving. And she's like, are you the name on the reservation? I was like, yes, I am. That's why I gave it to you just a second ago. Okay, now we've established all of this. Wallet. It went missing. It's probably in the back of the car. Literally, can I just drive to the facility and search the vehicle myself? Do I need to get a warrant? Please, Lydia. Justin and I would be laughing over some home-cooked chili by now, okay? We would have been giggling and just been like, that's crazy. Remember that time you almost lost your wallet, right? Good times. And so she goes, okay, can you describe the wallet? And I said, oh, yes, I can. I knew you'd ask this, Lydia. I knew you would. And that's why I have this information. I gave it to Connor that we lost the wallet. But now you can go ahead and pull up whatever he put in that database, which from what I heard is a lot. And go ahead and type that it is a brown wallet. Okay. She's like, okay, it's brown. And she goes, is it leather? And I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea. She's like, well, sir, if you're not able to describe it. I was like, can you just look in the back of the vehicle for something that looks like have you seen a wallet before? Do you know what a wallet is? Have you ever left your cubicle? Have you ever been with a man? By the way, if you ever do a call with a rental car facility affiliate, do not ask them if they've ever been with a man. They don't respond well to that. Okay? And I was like, have you ever seen one? It's a folder that has several folds inside of it where people put their money. That's what a wallet is. And this one is brown, okay? So if we're just going to call, all right, if there's two wallets in the back of this car and the decision is between if you take one of them because if you go to the back of the car and they're both, if there's two brown wallets, literally I'll give you all the money I have in mine, okay? Deal? I'll pay you. I will buy out Avis and I'll work there for free for a year if there's two wallets. It's just one wallet. It's brown, okay? I don't know why. Do you have someone going in there who's a tactile learner and are you just having like visually impaired people like just feeling around the car like, oh, I feel something but it's not quite leather? I don't know. I'm a dude. I've never looked at another dude's wallet and been like, oh my God, it's a brown leather wallet. That's so, my God, Justin. My God. How avant-faire of you. Okay? And so she goes, well, I said, just say leather, please. We'll just call it leather. If it's Velcro, then I'll call Justin and cuss him out personally because grow up. So we're just going to go ahead and roll the dice on leather. All right, Lydia? And she goes, okay, well, we will send somebody out to check the vehicle. And I was like, that would be great. Do you know how long it will take for me to hear back from you? And she goes, it takes about 10 to 14. I was like, oh my God, no. Okay. No. I literally felt like Liam Neeson's wife. I felt like the mom in Taken. I was like, oh, my baby. Like I was literally like, it's gone. I was like, it's gone. It goes, you think a wallet is going to come back to me with all of its contents in 10 days? I'm going to be a different person in 10 days. What? I'm going to have to be supporting my friend because he went homeless because he doesn't have any way to pay for anything. All right? So I was like, that's literally the best you can do is 10 to 14 business days, 2 weeks from now. And she's like, yeah, well, if you want, it might be best to just call and cancel all the credit cards. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure I'll be the one that gets to do that as well. Okay. Thank you. That's all you can do. You just say thank you. And then Justin calls me back and he goes, oh, hey, man, it was in my other pants. And so I had to call Avis back. A different person answers. And I was like, okay, rented a car a few days ago. Last name's Lynch. Wallet went missing. It was brown and it was leather. It's not actually missing. So cancel that. We've made a note. We'll let you know in 10 to 14 business. I was like, okay. What? All right, guys. I've been thinking. How do we feel about guns? Because here's the thing. Slow down. I just think less people would be into guns if we had to use them like wands. You know? If you had to kind of like swish and flick them when you shot, don't you think that would limit the number of shootings? Right? There's just something less, there's something a little too fancy about that. You know, I can't imagine a gun nut doing a swish and flick, you know? But I think that's the ultimate. I think it should be exactly like wands in Harry Potter. I think each gun should come with its own set, and you have to say something too while you shoot, right? You have to be like, Sophiacia, or something like that, right? Civilis Macado, right? And then you have to do it with the appropriate, right? The appropriate flick, the appropriate motion, okay? But if the spell goes wrong, your gun turns into like a weasel or something. That's what I think. I think that would solve it. That's what's going to solve the gun issue. All right? I know that everybody goes through permits and stuff like that. Yeah, you got to fill out paperwork and you got to buy it and then you got to get a permit for it and all this. Yeah, okay. Maybe a background check. Sometimes they do that, not really. But what you really need is a transfiguration course. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Defense against the dark beer bottles. That's what we would call that class. Defense against your backyard targets. Okay? Right? And sometimes, you know, it's just not gonna fire. So you've got to practice and you got to say the right ones, say the right thing too, you know? Maybe you got a gun, but that's not the right spell or that's not the right motion, okay? I think that would resolve it. I talked about this a little bit in my head, but we all have that friend who tells bad stories and you have to come in and rescue them in front of your other friends. Do you know what I'm saying? That friend. The friend who they cut off whatever the conversation was because they have to like come to the top and they go, okay, so I was in San Francisco. It always starts like that. So I was in San Francisco, like in 2006, and you're like, oh man, oh geez, dude, please, right? That's how this, and it's not like the conversation was not happening, and then they came in with this story, and you're like, well, you know, it's passing the time. That's fine. No. They stop everyone else at the intersection, and they go, hang on, wait. I'm about to drop a banger right now. I was in San Francisco, and there was a dog on the subway, and the dog was like dragging its ass. I think it was just, maybe it was just sitting, and like everybody else, and maybe the train was moving, but it was, and you're just like, I've been on a trains are and then you end up saying something stupid because you're trying to save them. You tried to save them and you became the martyr in the process. So yeah, I've been on a I heard that trains and like first class on trains is not that expensive. That's what I'll say. And people are like, that's all that people remember. They'll be like, that was a weird comment. And I'm like, yeah, I was just trying to do the right thing. I was just trying to help my friend. I can't talk to my wife on the phone. I have tried. I can't do it. She is there to not talk on the phone. She is there to do chores, and I talk with noises. I'm having a conversation with ambient sounds that's going on in her house. Every time I talk to my wife, it feels like she's moving apartments. It's insane. I can't talk when there's a lot of sounds going on, like because I stutter, and she knows this. But it's always like I'm hearing the sound of her vacuuming the walls. She's just doing the like, and she wants to like and that's guys. When we hop on the phone, which we don't want to do, we're there to just tell you the thing, and then that's it. Like we're it's kind of like, what's up? You know what I mean? What's up? And she's like, oh, nothing. And they're like, no, like, do we need to, okay, yeah, I could tell you about my day. I'm just sitting here and that's it. I'm just kind of sitting. She's like, oh, okay, well, why don't you tell me about the show? And I was like, okay, so I was doing the show. And I'm like, what are you doing? Are you fixing a toilet? She's like, no, I'm just putzing around the kitchen. I was like, well, are you walking on your hands? It sound like, are you doing street hip hop? It sounds like you're setting up a nonprofit over there, babe. Please. What is going on that you can't just, and then you asked the question. And then you're hazing me with noise. I can't talk against noise. So then I start stuttering because of all the sounds. Like that's what she's doing. I'm like, it's like I'm trying to sink a putt here, babe, and your car alarm's going off. Please, you asked me the question. I'm trying to answer your question. I don't even want to answer your question. I wanted to just sit here, but then my phone rang and it was you, and I'm married to you, and so now I have to talk to you. That's what happens when we're married, is we're going to talk. But I would like to talk to you and not our household appliances, please. And I just hear it too. She's like, she has to click, and she's like, what is getting ready for bed? She says, I'm getting ready for bed. What are you doing to get ready for bed? Are you setting up mouse traps? Are you testing an electric fence? Why is it so loud, my darling? I feel like she does it on purpose, man. I feel like this is what happens is she does it on purpose, so then I stutter. And then she's like, you sound tense, babe. And so that's the way she can lull me in to sexual activities. She's a mastermind at this. That's all she wants. She just wants bang bang fireworks. That's what she wants. And she knows that when I stutter, that it's so like, and she's like, oh my God, what? No, hey. You need a massage. That's what she does. You need a massage. Let me massage you. And I'm like, well, I'm okay. Because why don't you rest your hands, since they've been fucking active on this phone call. I imagine they're tired. Since you're washing an 18-wheeler with a yard hose. I don't know what is going on the phone. She's like beating a chicken or something. I swear to God, every time I talk to my wife on the phone, she sounds like she's in a village. You know? I was like, have you been living abroad? Where are you? Where in the world are you on your Cricket wireless right now that I can't hear myself? I'm just talking into the, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, are you on the freeway? And she's like, no, I'm driving. And I was like, no, I just mean, are you on the freeway? Like standing there on the freeway. That's the only explanation right now. Is the phone on the freeway and you are yelling to it and you have to cross Frogger style to pick it up? Where am I in the bottom of a bowl of cherries? What is the sounds going on through the receiver, dude? I love you, babe. I love you. I'd love to be able to tell you, but I can't get through it because I'm stuttering over a power outage in your town. What's going on? It's never good phone calls, man. Never a good one. I've never done that to a person. I think she waits. I think she's actually waiting to start doing something for when I call her. I think that's what's happening. She's waiting by a power drill, right? She has it in her hand. And then as soon as I call her, she's like, okay, here we go. 3, 2. Hey, babe, how's it? I'm sorry. Is now a bad time? I say that very I say that upscale British. I try to be so polite about it, and it's a bit snarky the way I do it. I'm like, I'm sorry, is now a bad time? Like that. That's me saying, can you get out of the forest? Can you get thee to a cell tower? Stand under the cell tower. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to find the nearest cell tower, and then I need you to give it a big hug, and I need you to hold on to it, all right? Hold the phone with both hands. That's what I want. That's what I tell her. I'm like, hold the phone with both hands. She thinks it's because of a grip thing. No. Hold the phone with both hands. But knowing her, she'll be like, you know, mixing pasta with her feet or something crazy. She's a crazy. She's a noisemaker, my wife. She makes noise all the time. And I don't know how to like, I think here's the thing. I try to ask her about like what's going on with her, and it's fine. If she talks and she's got things going on, if she's got things, that she's doing while she's talking, like that works. I love it. I love asking about what's going on with her. So then I don't have to talk. I don't like to talk, right? Mind you, this podcast is different because, I'm here for you guys and whatever. There's no interruptions here. But, her rapper name would be Crinklin. Literally. She would be like, what's up? I'm Crinklin the rapper. Because that's all she ever does. Anyways, I love my wife very much. And I love you guys. This has been a fun episode. I'm on tour. Send some questions if you'd like. If you need some advice, and I'll give you some bad advice. That's a fun segment we do here from time to time. Again, check out my buddy Justin Foster's special coming out on 4/24/24 cheap date on YouTube. And hope to see you guys live and in the flesh or however else you show up. I love you. We'll see you soon.